We are live with Commercial Roofing Radio.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? We got a super special episode today for sure. I'll be introducing you to the squad. The PeakLeads.io posse is in the building. The behind-the-scene wonders of the world, making the magic happen. So who wants the first introduction here? Who's going to be the...
I'll take it out.
Johnny
The brave, the
Petrus.
bold.
Johnny Petrus, to let you guys know out there, he has generated himself personally thousands and thousands of commercial roofing leads.
That we have.
How does that feel?
I mean, every win's just that. It's a win. Every time someone says, yeah, come check out my roof, couldn't be happier to pass it on and make one of our clients' days.
Absolutely. All right. So Johnny knows a thing or two. Literally all day, all he does is generate commercial roofing leads, right? So tell us a little bit about what you've learned in, prospecting, sales, all that kind of stuff when you're generating these leads for contractors all over the country now.
I would say, honestly, one of the most important parts, I know that we've talked about this on this very show, but follow-up is just so key. You'll get someone that says, sure, and then they might not answer their phone call right away. You got to call them again. You got to say, hey, I tried to call. Can you call me back? That, I would say, is one of the most important parts of the whole process. And you got to know that some people don't need their roof right now. But they'll need it. Everyone needs a roof. That's what keeps every family, every property protected is a roof. So we're in a business that everyone needs. But they might not need it right now. But if you're constantly, hey, just checking in, seeing what's going on, eventually they're going to need your services. And I would say that's another huge part of it is everyone needs a roof. They just might not need it right now.
Yeah. No, really well said for sure. And so you've worked with contractors now all over, right? And some has been insurance, some has been retail. We've done some commercial, we've done residential, we've done some solar stuff a little bit, kind of messed around in different areas. And we worked with a lot of different style of contractors, right, of how they operate their business. What are some similarities of contractors you think that have worked really well with us that have had success with a really high ROI?
I would say, honestly, kind of what I just said. The commercial roofing owners, like I said, they might not need it now, but they might need, a little patch on their home. And I think the number one thing is being willing to go and do those tiny jobs for the people to build that relationship. I know we've said, but we're building relationships. We're connecting building owners with roofers to hopefully have a lifetime relationship where every single time they need your help, they'll call you. But you have to be willing to go because not everyone needs a replacement right now. But if you're just there to, hey, I'll come check it out, maybe I'll fix your gutter right now. Just getting your name in there, they'll see that you're doing an awesome job with their house, their property. And then every single time that they need bigger and bigger things, they'll call you because you've already earned their trust, you've already earned their business, and they know that they can count on you. So I'd say, yeah, just offering services is huge because everyone wants the replacement. Replacement's the king. It's the most exciting thing. If someone texts me, hey, yeah, we need this giant roof replaced, that's probably the highlight of my day. But that's not every day. Every day there is someone that's like, yeah, can you come check out? I might have a shingle missing. And people that are willing to do that definitely show the most success.
Nice. Good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, long-term strategic business thinkers that are willing to focus on serving their customers first. And when they're able to execute on that, they're usually rewarded with other opportunities that are larger size. And plus, the service work is so high margin. So completely agree. And hey, boss, is this boss? So for those out there, this is boss. So B-O, 2 money signs right here. Boss, how are you doing? Bossy? Hello?
Any words?
Any
He's
words?
silent, but he's fierce.
Not right now. Okay. Well, thanks for
He's so
joining
white.
us. I really appreciate you being here.
Great guest.
He is being a great guest. Oh yeah. All right. Well, now what about? So we got some women in roofing over here.
Woo!
So
Represent.
is that what you guys were growing up thinking? Hey, we're getting into the roofing industry, or what's going on here?
Exactly not what I was thinking. So I'm Hannah, and I just started with Peak Leads about 6 months ago. Hasn't even been 6 months.
Yeah.
And time is just flying by. But I'm a customer success manager, and enjoyed my time here so far. Didn't think I'd be getting into the roofing industry, that's for sure. But learned a lot from all of
what
my
are some
fellow
things you're learning
coworkers.
about? Let's drop some. So she's new to the roofing space, so you got to think. She had to learn the company, but then also learn roofing. Well, what are you learning in the roofing? What are some fun facts you're learning about roofing
Fun
over here?
facts? Put me on the spot here.
Damn straight.
Okay.
Is that the whole point?
Learning a lot about coatings.
Yeah.
Learning a lot about repairs. Learning a lot that roofers are always in their truck.
Yeah.
Learning that they also do the whole 70, whole 50,
75 hard.
75 hard. Learned that.
75.
Danae
That
taught
just clicked with a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Danae taught me that. They love their energy drinks.
Who doesn't? Amen to that.
Yeah, amen to that. We
Yeah.
love our energy drinks too. But just
Yeah.
learning that they're a different type. Roofers are just a different type of people to be communicating with in the best way possible. Just because they're always in their truck or on a roof, and they're like, hey, I need to call you back. I'm on the roof right now. So they're always on the go. Yeah. So the communication piece is definitely probably my most difficult part with the roofers. But it's been great. They've been teaching me a lot too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just about the industry, and they're kind of working me through the process as well. So.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, she's crushing it. And then Danae, you've been in the roofing space the longest out of everybody here on this panel over here. Hey,
Yes, I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary.
3 years. Let's
with
go.
Suma, which is now Peak Leads, and it's been an awesome 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And you actually, so the Peak Leads name we took from you too, and the branding of the company. Basically, we were gonna,
Everything you see behind.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
we did
the company was going to be Suma, right?
Uh-huh.
We ended up changing it. We were just going to do, peakleads.io as one of the tools that we offered underneath that brand. But we're like, you know what? Let's change the name and just focus on that. So that was all you
I'm
as
glad
well.
we did.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah, right. So what about you? So you've been here for a long time now, right? 3 years.
3 years.
You've seen a lot of different things with us. I mean, in the beginning it was just me and you going to grid at the office, right? And you had to deal with me alone, So I mean, I can only imagine what that was like. Dark times, right?
Dark times.
Yeah. So what do you think of being involved with the startup for this long, kind of seeing the changes and whatnot?
I think it's really cool to see how far we've come, starting as just kind of a generic agency and transforming into a really niche roofing space, and now almost like a roofing software. We've got such a good thing going, and I'm really excited to be a part of it for 3 years. Yeah, it's cool.
So I remember when I said I think it was last October, right? And so it's come by pretty quick. And I was like, hey, we're gonna only work with roofing contractors, right? Majority of our business was already that, but we were still kind of messing around with some other things. And then I remember one day I was like, we're only doing roofing, and everybody was excited about it. And I was like, what? So explain that, but whatever everyone's response. Why were you guys so excited about going so niche?
So I guess I can start. My number one thing when I started this job is I knew that I wanted to get you on stages. I wanted to get Nick, because this guy talks, we've all heard him talk. If you're listening right now, you've probably heard other things. He's incredible on a stage as a motivation, as a show the process person. So that was I knew I wanted that. And I knew that we were making awesome connections with Randy, the Roofing Academy, just a bunch of different vendors in this space. And I knew that we could become a top player in that industry instead of being a medium player in a bunch of different things. Sure. And it's also getting, because like you said, I'm doing the campaigns and all that, getting all that so we can just focus on one message that works instead of okay, you do this thing, let's figure out what we have to say here. We're constantly fine-tuning our message, and just being in one space I think helps us a ton get better. We're rising to the top of something instead of just multiple hands in multiple buckets, and I think that was a huge move.
Really agree.
Yeah, the focus on roofing is really exciting. I feel like we've kind of figured out, like she said, the demographic, what they like. We connect with them, and just trying to be the best at one thing is a little bit easier than doing so many different things and stretching ourselves a little bit too thin. So I think this is going to be really beneficial for us and just all of our clients and just the industry as a whole. It's exciting.
Yeah, it seems like the slimmer we go, because when we first started, right? I mean, you did websites, you were doing logos. I mean, you done videos, you done pretty much a variety of things. But I mean, we were doing different services, right? We're doing different services for any kind of industry, basically.
Anyone who asks.
Yeah, anybody
Yeah.
asks, right? And so then to be able to slim it down to, roofing, that was cool. And then we slimmed it down again, and we're like, all right, we're gonna cut down our 5 or 6 services, and really, we're only gonna offer, 1 or 2 services, and we're just gonna make it all about that. And I think we saw on, in roofing, residential leads and all that stuff, they have tons of opportunities. Websites, SEO, you see tons of opportunities and resources.
Yep.
But for commercial, there really wasn't as much. So it's kind of like our option, like our best option. I felt like to go to a sweet spot where we're like, hey, we could be the very best at this and be like really well known. Like you have to go there for commercial leads.
Yep.
And so then I think everybody kind of got in their sweet spot too. It's like, think about it, that's all we work on now. Really, that's every day. It's like, can we get better at that?
Yeah, and everyone knows everyone. So now that we're all in the same industry, so we can. Everyone we talk to gives us something to get a little bit better. Every single roofer that it's like, hey, have you guys thought about this? It's like, oh, we haven't. Let's try to implement that. But every single person we're now talking to, we can use throughout our everything we do, which I think is very helpful. Instead of talking to a different industry, it's like, okay, we can just use it here. Now, like you said, every single day we're getting a little bit better at generating commercial roofing leads.
Yeah, you got any highlights on some leads you generated? You got any favorites? You don't like big properties or anything like that, or contracts?
Disney is always gonna. It's Disney, so
That's
that's
a good
an awesome
Huge.
one.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Just Shout out Steve.
Shouts out Steve. I hope you're watching. But yeah, that's probably we got IKEA. We just got like colleges, hospitals, but. Honestly, Disney is the one that comes to mind because it's probably the most recognized name there. But honestly, anyone who says yes to the roofing is at least like, it makes my day a little bit better. Because we get some no's, we get some stops, but anyone who's like, sure, come on, let's check out the roof. And then you look up the address in Google, you see that big old flat roof or something, and you're like, oh, they are going to be so excited. And that makes me excited. Exactly. I'm just doing little fist pumps to myself. Sending over a nice little screenshot like, hey, Nick, check this one out.
And I don't know if you guys can see Johnny's shirt here, but it says "I love roofers." One of our
Yes, we do.
one of our shirts from our product lines. He does love roofers, as do we all.
We all.
We all love the roofers. Amen to that.
It may
Amen.
not be in their shirts, but it's in their heart.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It is.
And then it's interesting. So we talked about the communication thing. You mentioned the communication thing, right? So basically, we bring in Hannah to help on pretty much just making sure the accounts with us are successful. But really, during busy season, it is hard to get a hold of you guys. You know what I mean?
Really
like,
is.
you're just gonna hit us up when you want to hit us up, which I can respect. So we're like, all right. Well, Hannah's like, well, I'd be down to do prospecting. So you started doing prospecting, hey?
Yeah, it's been definitely a wild ride, I guess, per se. But you always got to be on offense. You always got to look for new clients. But
keep the pipeline full.
Keep the pipeline full. That's what we want to nail in your heads. But it's been a great experience. I didn't come from a sales background or a B2B background. I was always B2C. So just being able to kind of learn new things. And Nick, you've been a great mentor for me too. And Chris, obviously, as well. And anyone helping me with that B2B sales has been just
mostly Scott, though.
Mostly Scott.
Yeah, Scott
I'm just kidding.
Peakleads.io, sales consultant.
But it's just been a great learning experience, and everyone says sales is just a great asset to have, and just like life in general. And I love to talk to people. I love to be in communication with people. So it's definitely right up my alley, I think. So it's been great.
It's interesting because we're selling to commercial roofing contractors, so that's who you're calling, right? So you're calling another business. But these roofers are also calling to other businesses, right? They're calling for other property owners and business owners that own those properties. So it's very similar, right?
Yeah, and I can relate when I talk to my clients too. I kind of relate to them when I'm like, okay, you know what? You got to follow up. You got to make sure you're talking to them like the XYZ this way. So definitely I can relate from now doing sales and prospecting. I can bring it into my talks with my clients. It's been great.
And so I mean, outside of everybody up here, they're all super dialed in and organized and stuff like that. So if they say they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it. So she can call call people out and she say, hey, you got to follow up.
Yeah.
Because I know Hannah's doing her follow-ups.
Yeah, I am.
So that's actually interesting. That's actually for both of you guys. That's kind of what like I liked about both of you in the process of hiring both of you. Both of you guys did like pretty solid follow-ups to me about the job. And I was like, damn, I really like that. You know, and because that's
key.
so important.
It's
You know
key.
what I mean?
Yep.
It
Yeah.
is key.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it's kind of crazy to think about. It's like maybe if you guys didn't do that, who knows what could have
Right,
been
it
different.
Right.
You
I couldn't have
know?
been here right now.
Yeah, everything could have been different. So
For
it's
sure.
like, you know, I said in the beginning of the year, it's like you wouldn't be better at one thing, and for your business, follow up would be a great thing to focus on.
Yeah.
And
I
it's-
agree.
And
It's
it's
a process for
yeah. I mean, CRMs too. I mean, this is another one for you guys, Hannah. Is like
Yeah.
you've seen the CRM. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think the one we're using right now is great, but just using
Yeah.
a CRM in general, I
general.
think is just a good big step for roofers to be using. I think it just helps the communication, not only with like if you're using lead generation or any marketing or people externally, but internally too. Just helps them. You guys communicate on the team as well as, you know, keeping that pipeline full.
Yep,
and just being
exactly.
able to see where things are. And I love that even the little detail of like making comments on some of the leads, just
Yeah.
so, you know, maybe Johnny knows what's going on and Nick knows what's going on. So everyone in the company knows what's going on with what's going on
Yep.
in your company.
Yep,
So,
100%.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
And I want to talk about on social too. So Danae, you do all our social. So the podcast, anybody who views, listens, watches any of the social content, that's all you behind the scenes making it happen. What are you seeing? So, you know, obviously, you know, social media. What are you seeing when you're kind of doing stuff here that maybe roofers can kind of follow up what's working right now?
Yeah, we used to have a variety of social clients when we were kind of early on with Suma, but
Now we don't share her anymore. So I think only, unless you're
Now it's
grandfathered
all
in,
about us.
you don't get to use Danae anymore.
yes,
So
now we're just narrowed in on
Yeah.
peak leads and commercial roofing radio, and I feel like I've taken a little bit from what I've learned with the clients, but mostly things are changing. So it seems on Instagram and Facebook. And even YouTube, they're all about the short videos. That's what we've been really pushing lately. And I would definitely recommend just doing short videos with your roofing company, getting out there on the roofs, doing some fun ones with your team, whatever. Just like clip them up on the Instagram app itself or edit it on TikTok, like TikTok's going off too. So yeah, all about the videos right now. I think people are kind of moving past photos for right now. So we've been really pushing the videos, and it's been really fun
Yeah.
to create and fun to see the views that you get and some follows that come along with it, and just kind of reach out to a new audience that might not have seen your photos before. So
yeah,
that's
100%. And it's for YouTube. It's YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and
Yep.
then TikTok, right? Is that the?
It's pretty much
the
it.
four, right?
Yeah, that's what I find most
Yeah,
important.
it's interesting. Whenever they're pushing something, make sure that you're maximizing that for sure, right? I mean, you look at some people at TikTok, and then when it first you got
Yeah.
in early, you're blowing up,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And now all of a sudden, Facebook and Instagram, or I guess just Facebook because they own Instagram, they're like, oh, we want in on the same game, so. And not enough people are making them yet, so it's easier to get your stuff seen. Otherwise, we're posting on that Facebook business page. You know, if you post an image or just a normal video and it's not a reel, all of a sudden
really
nobody sees it, you know,
Yeah.
and it's unless you advertise it. So it's like pretty much like free advertising
Yeah.
almost right now in a kind of crazy way.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the same like reels you'll see on TikTok and on
maybe push
I
it
get-
over too.
on TikTok, will see on Instagram too. So a lot of it, I feel like, is very universal for both platforms. If
Yeah.
you make it one on TikTok, you can also share it to your Instagram, and it'll be just as popular. I feel
like
too.
4-in-1.
Yeah.
And the trends kind of make it easy too. It's like if you're just scrolling, you know, at the end of the night and you see something, just I like favorite it, or you know, if it's a little bit of inspiration, just tag it, send it to your team, whatever. Maybe we want to record this tomorrow, get up on
Yeah.
a roof and use this audio or something, and then that way you're kind of quick with it, so that you can get on that trend and post it to your business TikTok or your Instagram, whatever it is, and be something fun to do with your team too.
Yeah, I think it has to be like a day or like a couple of days
Yep.
that you pretty much just dedicate to like
That's a
get
good
as
idea.
much video content as you can. You know, like I think, you know, yesterday we did 2 episodes. Here we have another one, right? And all of a sudden, you think about it, it's like we have so much content. We have
Yeah.
like the little clips we can make it. We have the podcast episode. We have, you know, the full thing on YouTube. You know, if we wanted to, we could transcribe it. But, you know,
Yeah,
there's just
a lot
so
of
many
good stuff.
things you can do with it. And so,
And I know all the socials just reward consistency. So if you're consistently, the algorithm's gonna start pushing you. The more,
Yeah.
because they want you to use their platform. So if you're using it, they're gonna reward you for that. So if you're just don't do like 3 videos in a row and then not touch it for 3 months. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna, you have to commit and you have to continuously put stuff up. But it's going to be an insanely good way to grow your business.
I almost think it's like if you can like figure out a way to kind of install it or instill it into your culture too. I think that's a nice way to do it, like having your salespeople or whatever it might be, creating content, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I recently just saw, actually, I don't remember the company, but it was like all their salespeople in their headsets, and they were just like walking in on their TikTok, and it was like a day of prospecting or something. It just made the company culture kind of fun, and also drew in probably a few people, or hopefully 100 people viewing it, or whatever the case may be. So brings in those views to see what people are doing on the back end of things.
We were kind of talking about building, like we were saying, getting the relationship. If they see that you're fun, they're gonna
That's
use
what
you. Like,
my big thing
if
is.
they, if they just see a stock photo of a roof, like
not relatable.
There's a lot of, but if they see that you're fun, it's like, okay, I might give these people a try. They seem like an
Everyone
enjoyable
likes
group.
A fun roofer.
Everyone likes fun. I think that's why it's named that.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Yeah, and then like too, it's like you know, even like the podcast thing. I know it sounds a little ridiculous, but literally any company can do it because it's really not about how many views you get, but it's about the relationships you build from it. So it's like if I'm a commercial roofing contractor, hey, I'm gonna do a podcast about maximizing your commercial property as a business, and then I'm gonna bring in all those resources, connect with all those people, whatever it might be. I'm doing this, and I think you're a really good property owner. I found blah blah blah. I thought this was impressive. So there's so many things you can kind of go with that. And then so now you're building those relationships. You
get invited to I work with you. I still felt honored to get invited to this podcast. So you're like, that's a great way to make a new friend and build a new relationship. Like, hey, I respect you so much that I'm gonna have you come on my show because I think what you have to say is important. That's a leg up. Like, okay, this person respects me. So and then all of a sudden a relationship is born.
Yeah, it's cool because then it's like you tap into their networks, right? So they're going to share this stuff. So like, for example, Danae, like you send over our guests like stuff that they can post and stuff, right?
Yeah, something we do after every podcast is sending over kind of like a little resource packet email sort of thing where we send them all the links that they need if they want to share with their friends. If they want to share it on their own profile, they can have the graphics that I created. If they want to post it on their story, I send them a story size. So just setting them up for success by sending them all those things makes it really easy for them so that they can share it with their network and hopefully double our audience size in that way. And then also I just make sure to tag them and everything on Instagram. You can invite them to be a collaborator so it goes right onto their page. Jim just shared his on his podcast.
The collaborator one's cool.
Yeah. So
talk about that maybe, kind of what that means.
That's kind of cool. There's like a tagging option on the videos. And you can do it on images too, but on the reels it's nice to do so that way when Jim from Roofing Success Podcast, he accepts that tag and then it kind of accepts him as a collaborator on that post. So it goes straight onto his profile too. So it says peakleads.io and Roofing Success Podcast as if we're kind of like teaming up on this post. And that way his audience and his followers see it right away too. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It goes on his feed and everything. It's a pretty cool setup there for sure. So now, we're getting thousands of views, right, on these micro clips, especially on Instagram Reels. Do you notice anything from one that does, 2,000 versus one that gets 6,000, or is it timing, or is it like
a little bit of timing? Because I noticed try to put like exciting, something funny, something like a
hook, basically.
Keyword hook. Whether it's a football team, the Bulldogs, or whether it's something funny right away. In the first like 2 or 3 seconds, I feel like you kind of have to catch them. I notice when I post maybe a little bit slower informational video, it doesn't grab people right away. So maybe try to put all your fun stuff in the beginning of the video, or like a really good song that kind of is catchy or something like that, so that you can like hook them right away.
I mean, when I'm scrolling, I'm like, all right, it's not hooking me.
Next,
so you
quick.
want to make sure it's something functional in the beginning.
It's so easy to scroll past that you really
gotta catch your attention
really fast.
And I feel like if I was going to do it for a roofing company, I'd try to figure out some way to add some personality behind it, because otherwise it's like, why would you follow a roofing Facebook page? Basically,
it's got to be fun,
right? Like there's got to be something that stands out where I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna like this roofing. But if they do, and they're just watching your stuff consistently, and they think you're funny and you look like you're doing a good job, or whatever it might be, you have a nice brand online, they're probably gonna go with you by the time.
You'll be the first one to call.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
So for sure. Well, cool guys. I mean, this has been pretty fun so far. Hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the podcast?
I mean, the biggest fan in the world.
Yeah.
Do you guys tune in every week
do,
or what? Every single week.
Every week.
Absolutely.
What was your
Believe it
favorite?
or not.
What was your favorite episode, Johnny?
Dave Sullivan.
Dave.
My man Dave Sullivan.
Give shouts out to Dave Sullivan.
Of course I do. The 10 roof tune-up. I was driving into work, heard that, and got right to my computer like, hey, I think we could use that. And we gave it a try. But yeah, I've talked to Dave a few times about that whole process too. Yeah, that guy, he knows some things. I mean, you haven't had a dud of an episode. We have only superstars so far.
No duds.
And I hope we are keeping that tradition alive.
What about you guys? You guys have a favorite episode?
Hannah?
Yeah, remind me of his name. He started from nothing, and he was a high school dropout. Was it Diego?
Was it Jonathan maybe?
Maybe Jonathan? Yeah. That was my favorite, just because he came from, and that's a lot of
Jonathan's
roofers.
was awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how you come from, that high school dropout and just a success story and learning from, there's going to be hiccups in the road, but he got through it. And he was also taking, his wife was in some sort of business school, or he was in business school as well, also trying to work a sales job. So he definitely leveled up and got through it. So
Absolutely.
My favorite, I edit the podcast too, so not that I wouldn't listen to them if I didn't. But my favorite so far has been Dave Estes. I just think he's an all around genuine fun guy. He works with Elite, and he's just has such a good way of explaining things, and he's just really down to earth and such a good salesman. So
and I know he very much talked about the service relationship based selling, so that very much appreciate that because that's what we try to tell everyone. It's very important.
Yeah, well, let's go to that then. Maybe we can give some tips. All right, so let's go to some tips. If you guys were talking to the viewers out there, commercial roofing contractors out there, based off of what you guys do, your experiences that you guys have seen, what advice would you give to a contractor?
If someone says yes, just give them a call because it's just.
He's saying basically if you're prospecting and someone says sure, I'll talk to you.
Right? I'll take exactly. Because honestly, worst case scenario, someone's just like, oh, I actually don't have any roofing needs. And then you hang up and you can move on, but you can cross them off your list. You don't have to follow up with them, or maybe you follow up with them 6 months down the road. But anyone that's interested, introduce yourself, say hello, say I'm here to help you with any roofing needs you may have. And you're going to build those relationships. They're going to call you down the road. We have people that all of a sudden we texted back in October, texting us today, hey, saved your number. I actually do need some roof help now. So if you're just as nice as possible as you can, introducing yourself, basically just tell them that you're there to help with their roof. Yeah. And I think that's how you're going to grow your business. You're going to get those relationships. But I just think if they're interested, they need some help. And you could be the one to do so. Maybe like I said, maybe it is just a missing shingle. And it's do I really want to drive 45 minutes for that? But maybe they own the grocery store down the road and they're a month away from getting that one replaced or something along those lines. So I just think, like I've said a few times, relationships are insanely important in this industry. A lot of people
in any industry.
In any industry, relationships are key. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And this one just as important. There are a lot of roofing companies in your area, no matter what area you're in. So you have to figure out a way to stick out. And also, that person who just needs a shingle, their neighbor could be their best friend, and they could own all the buildings in the city. So it's just be as nice as possible, be as helpful as possible, but call if they're interested.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off of that a little bit. Kind of relating to the CRM too. Make sure you guys are putting all your things into the CRM, the leads, like I said before, but building the relationships with them. I mean, obviously a lot of people that have a commercial building, they probably have a residential building too, or a house. So they're going to need their house redone maybe eventually. So, maybe it's not something they need right now, but maybe in the future they'll need your roofing services. So just like Johnny said, build those relationships, call them, get their contact information, even if it's like you said, the neighbor, because the neighbor could see the truck in the driveway, and then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's my preferred roofer now. So just make those relationships. I would agree.
Yeah, I like what Johnny was saying about the relationship. That's really good, and just like going all the way for a customer. In episode 15, I just edited that.
Wow, dropping numbers on us.
If you want to click over to episode 15 and listen to Brad.
I keep watching ours first and then go to 15.
After this. And then Brent and Brad were saying with Roper Roofing out in Denver, they do a good job at taking time to make sure that like the process is really just like respectable from the beginning to the end. I think their motto is like by your side till the end or something like, but by your side the whole way through. And I think that's really huge. They don't want to do anything that's gonna sacrifice, like I think they said white glove service or something. They just really like want their reputation to be really clean, and I think they do a good job at that. So just like really standing by your company's name and just like being really thorough and just caring to your customers, I think is huge. Yeah, and then as far as like design things, I would just say if you can, like hire a designer to do things like logo, things like website, branding, color scheme. It's a lot of work and a lot of money in the beginning of it, but it'll definitely pay off. Just I know from example, I know all you guys, like when you go to a website and it looks a little janky or the colors are off or the logo is from the 90s, like you just click out of it right away. So something to just like keep in mind is having just like a nice strong brand, something clean, simple. It doesn't have to be crazy, but that's gonna kind of have like a really good first impression on your customers.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of like what a lot of people see first nowadays is like a website. I mean, you Google the company or whatnot, you click the website, and you're like, oh, if it's not a good website, I'm just gonna click out. Yeah, so and that's the same thing with the reviews. You see the reviews and they're not, up to par, and you're like, okay, I'm not going with that roofing company. So I definitely agree with that for sure.
Yep.
And Hannah mentioned the CRM. Just use one.
Yeah.
It
Just
doesn't.
use one.
It just please use one. It makes everyone's life just so much better. Because like she said, maybe she calls, but I didn't talk to that person. I can look at the notes, be like, oh, this is what that person likes. But it is just so helpful. We've had people that are just ripping through notebooks looking for notes on someone, and then that he was like, oh, I must have left that notebook, and it's like, oh, so we have no idea what happened with there. If your whole team, and it can be the simplest thing in the world, but you need to just make your team commit to using it, and your life will be so much easier.
And so I'm gonna touch on the website and the CRM. So on the CRM, I think it's mostly because of fear of the unknown, right? Maybe they've had experiences, they tried it didn't work, or they don't really understand how to set it up. So hire someone to set it up, right? Just hire a professional that their people will actually implement CRMs and everything like that, right? Great option there. And then on the website, I'll never understand the website, right? Perception, your client's perception is your reality, right? Because you got to think the way when they jump on that, they're judging you, right? Whether you like it or not, and they're saying if you are someone who's a premium brand or you're not. Well, when we first started, and I just got fired, had no money. I had opened up a business account and I spent $5,000 for our first website. Yeah, I mean, I was like, I have nothing right now. I'm like, I at least got to try to play the part the best I can.
Yeah,
Right.
'Cause you knew the value of it.
Yeah.
At least if I have this, it's front facing. People are going to be impressed and take me seriously.
I get people text. We are kind of off the not having people with websites, but we've had people like, hey, yeah, like I'm interested. Can you send me your website? If we don't have a website to send, we've just lost that person who's interested. Because you can't really say, no, we don't have one. Then it's like, well, that's a little sketchy. You don't have you're texting me, you don't have a website to look at. Like, and then we just lost someone who said, yes, I do need help with my roof. So, and just have a clean, easy to use website, have somewhere that says schedule your free inspection or whatever you offer, and have it throughout the page. But just, it's the first impression to any potential customer.
And there's two things with the website, right? So you could look at it as like an online business card or a storefront, basically, right? Or you could look at it as an SEO strategy too, right? Or both. Now, if you're not looking at an SEO strategy, so for example, with this company, with Peak Leads, we're not really. With Sumo, we were doing stuff like that, but currently that's not part of our marketing strategy. So we only have like a one-page website. is for us, it's just like, I guess 2 pages now, but it's just for us, it's just like we just want to look really, really good there, right? And then in terms of eyeballs, we're more worried about, the content and consistency of just getting in front of people. But yeah, so those are some good. Oh, we got something else?
Yeah, I was gonna say like the one-page website too. I mean,
Yeah.
some people might think, oh, that's not enough content, but that's like the easiest way to get to your consumer. I feel like is by a one-page, straightforward, right there in front of them. They don't have to click a bunch of tabs.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it simple, straight, clean, and
This
people are
is
gonna
what
love
we
it.
do,
Yeah.
This is where we service.
I mean, that's in
You want
anything,
that.
right?
Yeah,
User
anything.
experience in general. Like, if you think about like design, like think about sometimes when I've seen people be like, hey, like we want this flyer, we want this, what PDF, whatever it is, and they want like every logo and every information on there of all their accreditations. You've dealt with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, how do you fit
sometimes-
everything there, right? Isn't it almost too much?
Definitely. I think just with this day and age, even like captions on Instagram or Facebook, it's like people don't want to really read anymore. They want to get like just the facts like in bullet points really quick and move on with their day. Especially with it something like with roofing where maybe it might be a little bit more technical, just like a homeowner or even like a commercial property owner, they really just want to know like the basics. So keep it really concise, easy, fun, simple copy, I guess, and just really keep it really clean and concise.
Easy to read, right?
Yeah.
Easy to read, like
No crazy technical
yeah, no crazy
terms.
background,
No,
not like
that's true.
too much information. Less is more, I think, is a big thing. Whether it's
Less
the
is more.
website or a flyer, whatever it is, less is more. All right.
100%.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna move on to trivia. I don't actually have any questions, so I need to pull this up. I got some ideas though. I got some ideas.
I'm gonna look this way so I don't cheat, folks.
If you guys want, if you guys want to fill in the gap here, you guys have anything clever here to talk about? Any kind of fun facts or anything?
Fun facts.
You think you want to share with our audience now that you guys? Think about it. I usually keep them caged up over
Yeah,
up
I'm
top.
not used to this.
This is actually where we're coming out with a surprise for our listeners. I'm just kidding.
Like and
And you get $1,000, and you get $1,000. I'm just kidding.
You're
Comment below
Oprah.
to get
Of Nick's
$1,000.
money.
Oh, my money.
Straight out of the bank.
Swipe.
Thank you.
All right. So let's do this here. Johnny, don't be looking at anything either, right?
Uh-oh.
I'm
All
not.
right. We're gonna do some company trivia. How about we'll do
Well,
some
did you
company
know?
trivia.
Did
What
you
do
know at
think
my
about
old
that?
job I ran trivia nights?
No, you did
Yes,
not.
I did.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
We might have started
We
making.
filled it in with a fun fact.
Hey.
I guess I could
Hey, she could take that responsibility off your plate then. She
Okay,
could,
I could do
She
that.
could write the trivia now.
Yeah, I
she
could
could
do
write
that.
the
Usually
trivia.
used to have the interns do it. But
Yeah.
we did run it, yes.
Yeah. I love it.
Best
It's
actor
experience.
for a murder mystery party.
You
So.
did?
Oh.
I love Dom, so we're just talking about old accomplishments.
Well,
good accomplishment.
before let's talk about the culture here. Would you say that everybody here is a grinder pretty much, or
Oh,
what would you
yeah.
guys say about everybody's work ethic?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, me and Hannah, the doors do not open except for lunch, and then we go back in there and close them, and then we see each other at 4-ish around there. We very typically refer to our days just as blackouts because we'll be looking, and all of a sudden it's like it is 12:30, and it's like what?
Yeah,
It's a
time
blackout.
flies.
It's a ripper.
It's a ripper. It's a ripper. We just rip all day.
Yeah.
But yes, we are, because we know that some people go work all day every day. We know that. Thank goodness we do have a work-life balance, but we do know that means that the work part,
Yeah.
we got to go,
Yeah.
and we go, and
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, we just go hard for those 8 hours of the day. That's just like crush time
Crush
for
time.
us.
Crushed.
So
Rip, blackout, crush time. Exactly. That's how hard we go. We have multiple
Yeah.
names to call.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what drew me into just like working with peak leads too. Is just like you guys were so cool. I did like a first initial like Zoom call, and it was just like a chill vibe, and
Yeah.
everyone was just like in like sweatshirt. It's just like a very relaxed company culture, and Nick really does a good
Except for
job
the
about.
work, except during the work. part.
Yeah, except during the work part. But Nick does a good job, like making sure that we know that we have a good work-life balance, and going golfing after work, or even take walks during lunch
Yeah.
break or whatever.
She doesn't go golfing with us.
No, I
so she
haven't
actually
gone yet.
bails. Once 4 o'clock, said she's
They
actually
go
out.
golfing. Eventually, I'll get out there. But I think that's huge for me. I think company culture is huge for me though, because I came from somewhere where I didn't really have much company culture
Same.
and
Yeah.
not a
Same
good work-life balance, and so this has just been a whole 360 of
Okay.
just like a great company to work for.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, we're missing 2 people here today, but they are just like, I feel like Ryan and Chris are maybe the biggest rippers.
The biggest
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
They
they're
blackout
so
days
quiet.
forever.
Yeah. Like you won't hear from them all day, but you know they're just like working so hard, and they don't even look up from their computer. Like
No.
Ryan has no idea.
I ask
what
him a question,
day it
he's
is.
just still.
I love that.
Yeah, Ryan turns his Slack notifications off. No, you won't hear from him for the day.
We'll be like, "Where's Ryan?" Oh, he's probably just in deep in the.
Yeah.
In his cave.
Like
Coding
he'll
cave.
answer some like group Slack like an hour and a half
Yes.
later.
Yeah,
when
like,
you
where
were
we at,
already on a different one.
Oh, hey there. You come here often? I feel like I see you every Wednesday. And, you definitely caught my eye. I'll tell you one thing. You know how to stand out from a crowd. You already got a lot of great things going for you. I mean, I see your company. I see what you got going on. I want to be part of it. How about I give you my number and you send me a text? 720-796-4935. Hey, yeah, it's Nick, right? Peakleads.io. I think we can help you generate some commercial roofing leads. Looking forward to chatting. Talk soon. All right, I got some trivia now.
Okay.
All right. So this one we'll start out with here is just kind of a little bit of a story time, right? So obviously we used to be Suma Media, right? And we had the blue vibe going previously, but before that, what color was the primary color of Suma Media?
Maroon.
We should let Hannah.
This is Hannah's question. Let's do
Damn.
We'll switch
Wow.
up. I like that. Good call.
Was
Good
it
call.
purple?
What do you guys think?
No. Wait, you mean originally?
Oh,
Yeah,
originally.
Originally, guess. Johnny may have given you a little.
Maroon?
I can't give you guys that one. Cheaters, pumpkin eaters.
We thought it was a team question at first.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll give them that one.
Sure.
So it was actually team. It was team.
Really?
It was team. All right.
I want to see that shirt.
All right.
Yeah, it was maroon at the very start, even before I worked there and
Mm-hmm.
worked here. And it was maroon, and that was the vintage color.
That was the
OG
vintage color.
What made you change?
I think you probably right.
Oh.
It was probably something, right? I was probably messing with it.
The professional.
Yeah, I was probably messing with it. Yeah, right.
What can I say?
I don't like this maroon. Let's
Yeah. Fun fact
His
though.
first day, she's like, all right, the color.
Yeah.
Drop the red.
I don't look good in that color.
So I already said that, hey, as soon as we opened, $5,000 on the credit card, right? I got myself a little, office space at a WeWork because I wanted to look official, of course. And then I bought $600 worth of shitty T-shirts. You do like it?
And he
You
still
do
has
like
them
that
today.
shirt? The material is just
All
no
of them.
good though.
It's not. We upgraded the material for sure. We got some good stuff now.
I'm just saying, I had a lot. 5 years later, I had a lot of those shirts left. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did we said, I wonder why.
Yeah. So all right, so that's that. We'll count that as Hannah's question. Then we'll go over to Danae now. Then all right.
So one loss.
So we have.
Oh, yeah.
We're having one.
No, it's a team. It's team. Yeah, you got one there.
0-1.
All right, so we did a real good job previously with the other brand talking about kind of our core values. I know we haven't really figured out a way to incorporate it quite yet. So it's been a while since we've talked about them as a team. What are our
All of
core
them?
values?
Oh my gosh.
This just shows how bad I am at bringing these up. It's been a while. I used to be good about
You know
it.
what?
though.
When I interviewed, I memorized
used to be
them.
good.
I memorized them when I interviewed.
okay.
Yeah,
I used to
but
be all about it, but then it's like life gets
And that
busy.
question was for Johnny, right?
Yeah, that was today.
That's the thing about going to a simple website. We don't have them on our website
Yeah.
anymore. I'm not constantly reading.
I'll
them.
tell you what.
But I'll
So
start. I'll
we'll,
try.
we'll do a lifeline too. If you want to
Okay.
do a pass, you can do one pass, but you can't do one. It's either all or nothing. So you answer with all six, right? Because I think it's
Okay.
6 of them, right, guys? Or is it
it's
5?
It was 5 because we took one out.
All 5.
Yeah.
All right. Or none, and you pass, and that goes back to
Okay.
Johnny then. Johnny, you can't make eye contact with Danae. Close your eyes.
So I have to try for all 6, and he's gonna fill in the blanks.
So you either you get them all, or you decide to pass it right now.
Okay. I think accountability
Yeah, that's one. Oh yeah.
is one. Collaboration.
Oh yeah.
Communication.
Ooh.
It's dang. It's growth.
I think it's only one more left.
Yeah.
Watch it, Johnny. Why are your eyes closed?
Something with.
Oh, come on.
Teamwork.
Something in that area.
I want to say
More
it's
than a team, though.
It's not love. It used to be love. Now
Yeah.
it's family.
Oh, wow. Well done. I'm impressed.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
You took away love for communication.
We did, yeah. We
Yeah.
swapped it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because family and love. were
Love
very
was like,
similar.
all right, guys, let's chill.
Yeah.
Too lovey-dovey.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We do
yeah.
love our roofers, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
But that was good, Danae.
That was really good,
Came back to
actually.
me.
So-
Peak leads through and through. That's what she is.
Yes. I was
Peak-
picturing the icon.
That was pretty good. Which one's your favorite? Which one do you like to live by?
I think collaboration.
Collaboration's a
Yeah.
good one. Collaboration's a good one for sure.
That's really big for me.
Hell yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well, so this one, I know you're good with dates. So this one might have been bad the way it kind of it came to you. What is Peak Lead's birthday?
May 17th.
I knew.
I knew that one. I knew. Oh yeah.
That was so
Right when you said date, I should have just said May 17th. I knew it was coming.
All right. So.
5 years.
All right, so for our so we'll go back to team. This will be a team question here, okay? So, our first client, all right? The way we got it was basically I went to the Colorado homeowner convention, basically, where all these contractors come into the convention center in downtown Denver, right? And they set up a booth, and then homeowners walk in and just kind of check out different things they can do to renovate the home or whatever it might be. So anybody that could work on your house, remodelers, and, you name it, they were there. And so what I did is I researched all of them, right? And I wrote down something unique about all of them, right? I had letters written to every single one of them. And then I went in, and it says, as soon as you walk in, no soliciting to the vendors. What did I do? I went and solicited the vendors, right? But I knew, yeah, right, suggestion. They suggested I don't do that. And so I went up to every one, and if they were there, I'd talk to them, and if not, I would just drop off the letter, right? And that's how we got our first client, right? And that's how, and that's how we got our first client. So I remember calling Chris after we closed the first deal with a signed deal, $7,500 for a website, right? I was like, holy shit, someone's paying us and this money's about to go into our account. It was pretty crazy. Who was our first client?
It's not Wendy, is it? Hello? No.
No.
Because isn't technically Salesforce our first client? Nick did headshots with zero.
Oh my god.
That's another story though.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't think it's goods. This is pre-goods.
It's a website deal. So it's a website deal.
I can't remember.
I know this was gonna be a tough one.
Not that I was there, but I remember hearing the story.
For you.
Yeah.
What do you think? You could phone a friend maybe. You could call Chris.
Call Chris.
Yeah, let's call Chris.
Let's call Chris.
You guys got your phone or
See
no?
if
I
he
don't.
answers.
Yeah.
That would be so funny if he didn't answer.
That would be on brand.
Oh, boom.
Let's see if he responds first.
Chris. Want us down here.
Come on.
He's not going to answer.
No. And Ryan will not know.
He won't know.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Chris. No. Come in,
We
Chris.
should leave him a voicemail.
Oh.
You suck.
Accountability, one of our core values.
Dropping the ball.
And he
Chris,
hasn't
we're
changed his
disappointed
voicemail
in
yet.
It still says Sumo Media, Chris Pendergast. Get on it.
Maybe call twice. The people say that
Oh,
the
wait,
first
hold on.
call is the.
Hey, he's on a demo that you guys booked.
Okay.
That's why.
No
Yeah,
follow-up.
forgiven. I looked at his calendar.
Sorry,
He's on a
Chris.
sales call. If he doesn't close
proud of
it
you.
though,
Then forgiveness taken
yeah,
away.
then forgiveness taken away.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.
Hey, this is really gonna
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who we got?
Maybe
All
we'll
right.
pass this one.
We got another question here, okay?
Oh,
Oh,
the answer
we want
to
the
that.
answer.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
That would be.
Andrew Wooten with Ecoterra Landscaping.
I knew that coming
Yep,
from
landscaping.
Eco.
Yep.
Landscaping. Okay.
Landscaping.
Great dude out in
Join
Greeley,
us.
Colorado. Hope all is well, my friend. All right, so I'm watching Johnny hard. Johnny's sketch today. Sketch. All right. So when we recently changed the brand, we all got new email addresses. All right. On Thursday, March 10th at 2:25 p.m. Mountain Time, the first peakleads.io email was sent
Yes.
by Chris Pendergast.
Yes.
What was the subject line?
Is it not We Are Live?
What are you guys gonna say? You guys figure that out. I don't know.
I think it was We Are
I
Live
wanna
with
say
all
it was.
capital
The
L-I-V-E.
screenshot.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember.
It's got to
seeing
be.
that.
I'm thinking of
I'm
the
seeing-
body.
I'm seeing it right
yeah,
now.
I'm trying to picture the body, but I think the subject was We Are Alive.
I think so.
I agree.
Lock
What
it
do you guys
in.
think?
Lock it
Final
in.
answer.
Locking it in? We are live?
Yeah.
We are live.
Oh, yeah. No better way to
If
say
you know, you know.
So Chris says, with peakleads.io. Dear crew, I am jacked up. First email in Peak Leads history. Who's ready for the race to 100 million? Jump aboard the momentum train. CP.
Very instinctive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You
I
got us
love it.
pumped up after that.
I love it. I love it.
An iconic email.
Yeah, right.
Framed
It is
somewhere.
framed.
It is
Yeah.
framed. Yes, that's what I was looking at. Was the framed picture, and CP just hit me up on sales call. So yes, he was on a sales call. He just slacked me, so he was on a
Okay,
sales
good for
call.
gas.
So he gets a pass
He gets
on
a
that.
pass.
He gets a pass on that. All right. Well, hey, that was a lot of fun for sure. I think what we're gonna do next though is you guys can say maybe just say a favorite moment. I'm gonna say one of mine too. Say like a favorite thing that you guys think you've done here, and we'll kind of close it out. Not everybody at once.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've kind of.
I feel like I had I created no favorite moments. It looks like.
No, I've kind of
I was
said
waiting for
mine.
Johnny.
Like I said, every
Yeah.
every single person who sends like an address needs help with their roof, because I know I get excited. I know they're getting excited. So every day I get a pretty solid moment of like, oh, this person needs like this big of a roof. Like that company's going to be pretty excited about it. So I know that I mentioned Disney, IKEA, some bigger companies, some hospitals. We just got 2 casinos. So if you can get in there, that'll be
Feeling lucky?
nice. Oh yeah, feeling really lucky.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like we've mentioned, we're grinding, we are working very hard, but we're also hanging out with friends every day. And it is just an incredible culture. We're doing very exciting things, and we're getting people excited. We're helping them grow their business while we grow ours. It's fully collaboration,
Yeah.
a core value. It's been a great ride.
Amen to that. Love it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of mine too. I mean, just being able to come to a fun atmosphere to work in every day where you're not waking up. I give this advice to everyone. Don't wake up and, drag your feet to work. You want to be running to work and just so excited to be at work and be with the people that, make you grind.
Yep.
And I just think the atmosphere, like Johnny said, is just a great atmosphere and a fun place to work. It doesn't even feel like work, really. It just feels like we're just here to hang out and work's on the side. Obviously, it's a priority, obviously. But I think that and then also just being all together in the office too. As some of you may know, it's just usually me, Johnny, and Nick in the office, and so I get a lot of boy time. But when I have Danae coming in, that's always.
We got Chris.
We got-
Oh,
let's,
we
see,
got CP.
let's see if Chris knows the answer.
Pendy.
Pendy, we're on trivia.
Pendy, I had you on the podcast. They use you as a lifeline. So I got you live on the pod right now on speakerphone.
And
now.
we know the answer now, but do you?
Yeah, the question was who was our first paying client when we started the business over 5 years ago?
It's between a couple people. I know it was a website.
Okay,
Um,
moving forward.
I remember. I'm gonna blank on the name.
Oh no.
Blank on
Pendy,
the names, the whole answer, Pendy.
you're on the pod right now.
You're live.
You're our lifeline.
I'm thinking of the company. It was with Danskin's company, right?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh.
One One more
Is
shot.
that number 2 then?
I'm only worried about number 1.
Who is it?
I called you in the car on the way back. Who was it?
Can you give him a hint? See if he has the name.
I'm trying to think. Wait.
What's his name? Is it the guy in North Carolina?
Chris
he's way off.
Wooten.
Oh, Wooten, that's right.
I had the signed contract. I took a picture of it and I called you on the way back from Greeley. I said, "Holy shit, we got someone paying us money."
I forgot about him, honestly, completely.
Wooten.
Eco-Terra.
He ended up buying a second website from us like 3 years later or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Chris. Well, we got to close this
We'll let
thing
it
out.
slide.
All right.
All right, peace out, guys.
All right. See ya.
Later.
He's just had so many closed deals since
Yeah,
then.
he
He's
just
like,
can't remember.
that's
Can't keep
Yeah,
track.
old
true.
days.
It happens. Yeah.
He's always looking forward. That's
Mm-hmm.
like they said, yeah, it's such a good, fun company culture. We've had so many good times. We've gone to some awesome roofing conferences.
Cabo,
Yes, we've been to Cabo for fun. We've been to awesome conferences. We went to Breckenridge for like a really fun like team bonding. So we're always
boom.
taking care of each other. Yeah, we did some snowmobiles. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And then, yeah, just always having fun with our clients. Like at roofing conferences, we'll kind of network and collaborate there. But yeah, one specific thing that came to mind as far as design-wise when you asked like a highlight, this is a little bit selfish and a little bit like just for me. But it was really cool because I designed New Era's logo years ago. And then one of the guys in the team, I can't...
Hugo,
yeah,
yeah.
I know Hugo. Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to confirm it was him.
Yeah.
Hugo Carrasco did and went and got the logo that I designed tattooed on his wrist. So that was huge. So he's very dedicated to the company, but also just cool to see a logo that we did.
Sweet,
yeah. So-
like on such a cool media like that. Like what on your wrist?
Oh yeah.
In ink.
So he
Yeah.
was on. I did a podcast with him yesterday. We recorded. He was here yesterday, sitting
I
right
haven't
here,
seen it in person.
and we were talking about the micro clips. I was like, while we were recording, I was like, hey, we gotta check this out. And I had Hugo pull up his arm, and I was like, hey, we'll clip this up in some micro. Yeah, and so we'll see a reel of that because Hugo actually shows the
haven't edited
tattoo.
that footage yet, but you know
yeah,
I will.
exactly. So you'll get it. It'll be ready to go.
Great job. That was,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. So that was
a hi-
super
that was
cool. So
highlight.
a
That
logo
was a
you
win for
designed.
us. I feel like a logo I designed, but like it came from all of us, and like I feel like I always send you guys logo options, and we always like collaborate on like the final product. So it was like really felt cool to see like our logo out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we don't let anybody else use Danae anymore though. So you can't hire her for this stuff. It's all internal. She's got to get our brand popping like it's hot. You know what I'm saying? I love it, guys. Well, cool, good stuff, guys. Yeah,
for having us.
Thanks for having
yeah, that was
us.
good
That was
stuff.
fun.
And I would say for me too, it's just like everybody, I'm watching everybody's development for sure, right? Just accelerated growth on everybody in the team is pretty unbelievable. It seems like, obviously we've had plenty of obstacles to say the least, but just watching us how we evolve when we handle those. So definitely a lot of fun. But thank you guys for joining me on the pod.
Commercial roofing leads. Give us a call.
Yes.
We love roofers.